calm to chaos in less than a month, India was in the grips of a devastating second wave of the coronavirus. By mid-April, the country was averaging more than 100,000 cases a day. But could the second wave have been prevented? Well, the experts say no, but it could have been substantially contained. India was in the middle of a public health emergency. Social media was full of videos with COVID funerals at crowded cemeteries, long queues of ambulances carrying gasping patients, and patients, sometimes two in a bed, in corridors and lobbies of hospitals. There were frantic calls for help for beds, medicines, oxygen, essential drugs and tests. Drugs were being sold in black market and COVID test results taking a lot of days. This was the month when many states started informal lockdowns. Localized lockdowns rather than nationwide lockdowns have been preferred in order to balance the spread of infections versus the loss of economic activity. For weeks, India had battled a devastating second wave of COVID-19 that had crippled its health system and led to shortages of oxygen supplies. In a relief to India, which was reeling under the cascading effect of the second wave of COVID-19, the positivity rate in the country has witnessed a massive decline in the last days, due to which the process of unlock can be started in a few weeks, but for now, states are still extending their lockdowns and in some cases imposing fresh restrictions to continue the fight against the pandemic and reduce the burden on the healthcare system. Here is a look at the states that have extended restrictions to curb the spread of the virus. As more and more states announced lockdowns, it was likely that the employment rate declined and the earnings too. The impact of the second wave was likely to be more serious because businesses have not yet recovered from the first wave's impact.
And after the industry had spent a substantial sum in restarting, remobilizing, refurbishing the establishments for a restart after a considerable amount was spent by way of bringing in workforce and putting the establishments in order, this shutdown has come back again. What it means is, one is that a lot of money which was never earned has again gone down the drain. Second, the workforce which was brought back after a great deal of effort have again gone back. And lastly, again, the establishments are shut with revenues back to almost 0 to 5% across hotels and restaurants. So this is the telling effect, and with the fear of a third wave being spoken about, so it will virtually become very, very impossible for most of the establishments to reopen under these circumstances. And the greater impact of this will be on the workforce, which will now be thinking 10 times to come back to this industry.
The ruthless march of COVID-19 throughout the globe is a human tragedy, affecting the health of hundreds of thousands of people. The consequences of measures taken worldwide to curb the pandemic are having a growing impact on the global economy. All businesses, regardless of the size, are facing serious challenges, especially those in the aviation, tourism, and hospitality industries, with the real threat of significant declines in revenue, insolvencies, and job losses in specific sectors. Sustaining business operations will be particularly difficult for small and medium enterprises.
I don't think for the next 3 years now, with this second wave and the fear psychosis in everybody of the third and the fourth and the nth wave, I don't think for 3 years the hotels will recover. And while restaurants should take about a year to come back, and these are the ones that survive. Unfortunately, a lot of them will not. So we need to understand that not only does business suffer, it is livelihood that is suffering. It is the lives of these people who are literally hand to mouth. And we are having, as I said, 12.75% of the total employment. That amounts to huge figures. And if not taken care of, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Hotels have been shut from the first wave itself. Restaurants, well, yes, there was a little bit of revival, say up to about in the 3 months that we were asked to, 4 months that we were asked to open, there was about almost a 30 to 40% revival. But again, that's gone down. Unfortunately, all these knee-jerk reactions of touch and go, shut shop and open and shut and open, that has led even our staff to have a very bad impression of the entire industry. They feel that the industry is not reliable, and migration and vast exodus is for everyone to see. I don't have to spell it out. But if you're asking, are we ready? Just in one line, we were ready, we are ready, and we will be ready.
As India continues to battle the second wave of the pandemic, medical experts have predicted an upcoming third wave which will impact children the most. Many states and union territories have begun to ramp up their health infrastructure to brace for another wave of infections. Children and young adults have suffered a lot of collateral damage due to COVID-19. They are the backbone of the society and future of the country. Some of the challenges include stress and mental issues, smartphone dependence and addiction, interrupted education opportunities, and nutritional issues. It has been said that children will be the most affected in the third wave. Fortunately, there's a light at the end of the tunnel with the coronavirus vaccines, because the key lesson we learned from the visitation of the second wave is vaccinate, vaccinate, and vaccinate. A critical step to stop the spread is a vaccine. Like other diseases for which we have vaccines such as polio and smallpox, only by vaccinating against COVID-19 can we effectively reduce outbreaks and protect our community. During the second wave, a lot of people just felt a sort of helplessness. But this time, we must prepare ourselves for the unavoidable third wave of COVID-19. Government needs to continuously keep working on the ways to boost public health workforce, scale up vaccination, and prepare robust healthcare plan for this emergency to bring an end to the pandemic.